Let's turn to NBC's Garrett Haake. He's at Trump headquarters in West Palm Beach, Florida. Garrett, what's the former president doing now? And I'm wondering if there's been any reaction to what appears could be a change of power in the Senate.
Not to that specifically, Lester, but let me set the scene for you here just to get the lay of the land down here in South Florida, because some of this will matter later on tonight, perhaps. We are in West Palm Beach right now at the Convention Center, which is the giant party headquarters media center for the Trump campaign tonight. Donald Trump is across the Intercoastal Waterway at this hour at Mar-a-Lago, his home and private club, where for a portion of the night he was doing, I think, what many people sort of imagine candidates do on election night, meeting with advisors, watching the returns come in, checking the numbers. At some point this evening, according to multiple sources who are there and have laid eyes on him, he has transitioned into essentially party mode already, down in the ballroom at Mar-a-Lago, shaking hands, thanking supporters, participating in the celebration that has begun among his closest supporters, his family and friends, despite a race that remains uncalled. I'm also told, NBC News can also report, that he's in discussions with his aides and advisors about when he might make the trip across the bridge here to West Palm Beach to give some form of speech tonight. Now, we have been asking him about this day after day. Would he declare victory early? Would he rule out the possibility of declaring victory early? We all remember him doing exactly that in 2020 when so much of the vote remained to be counted. He has refused to take an early declaration of victory off the table, and it's our understanding now that conversations are underway for him to make some kind of address here tonight, regardless of where we are on the path to 270 votes.
All right, Garrett, thank you so much. And we're joined now by podcast hosts John Lovett and Dan Pfeiffer, both White House veterans. I believe we have them right now. Oh, not yet. We're going to go to, that they're coming up.
We're going to go to Peter Alexander.
Peter Alexander, for get the view from the Harris headquarters. It sounds like Donald Trump is talking about coming out and saying something. What are you hearing from the Harris campaign?
That's 3,000 votes, less than that.
Yeah, well, I always defer to the Pod Save America guys. If they want to go, you'll let me know when they're ready. But we are waiting to hear, of course, from Kamala Harris at some point over the course of this evening. No indication when that would happen. Some early indications that might happen in the course of this hour. No confirmation on that at this time. We'll keep you posted as we know. I will tell you, though, in the course of the last 15 minutes, NBC News did obtain a memo that was sent out by the chair of the Harris campaign, Jen O'Malley Dillon, the woman who orchestrated Joe Biden's victory in 2020. This was sent to staff, and it gives you a sense of where they are heading into this evening. They expect nothing will be determined until late into the night, and certainly they say they're going to be at this again tomorrow. But as she notes in this memo again, she says that they have always said that the clearest path to 270 electoral votes lies through the blue wall states. And here's what she says specifically about Pennsylvania. She says that we overperformed turnout expectations in Philadelphia and overperformed in our early vote expectations in Bucks County, one of those key collar counties, those key suburbs of Philadelphia. She says we don't have election day results from Philadelphia, but we do know that we overperformed turnout expectations there and have seen especially high turnout in places with non-white and student populations. One thing they're keeping a close eye on right now. About Michigan particularly, they say the city of Detroit won't be reporting out until roughly midnight, but that they have seen strong turnout from early vote and election day voting in other parts of the state. And finally, in Wisconsin, where they're keeping a close eye on that blue wall, that they do not expect complete results from Wisconsin until tomorrow morning between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. But the biggest takeaway perhaps from this memo is the sense that as the chips start falling, it appears that they are leaning heavily into the blue wall, which started and may be ending as their best path to victory here. In spite of some numbers that show they still have some ground to make up, there's still a lot of data out there. And that's where, at least according to her memo, which effectively said goodbye to the staff for the night, said we'll do it again late into the night and start again strong in the morning. That's where they are as this night heads toward midnight.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.